I used to work in the supplement industry in my early 20s, and let me tell you, I watched companies spend millions of dollars on flashy ads while quietly cutting corners on the very products they were selling to seniors. Here's the ugly truth. Most protein powders in the US are nothing but cheap whey or soy isolates stripped of their natural cofactors. Then they're bulked up with fillers, gums, artificial flavors, and sweeteners that your aging gut has trouble digesting. If you're interested in this topic, hit like, subscribe, and type "interested" in the comments, and I'll give you a heart. What's missing? The vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats your muscles actually need to rebuild and stay strong. That's why so many older Americans keep losing muscle year after year, even while choking down expensive powders. Research shows that after age 60, you lose 1 to 3% of your muscle every single year, and protein powders alone aren't fixing that. Here's the kicker. The supplement industry knows this, but weakness and fear sell. And in America, weakness is $1 trillion business. In fact, Americans spend over $2.5 billion, 0 cents, every year just on protein powders. Yet the majority of older adults still suffer from sarcopenia or age muscle loss. That's why in this video, we're blowing the lid off the industry's secrets. I'll show you 8 real foods that stop muscle loss instantly, ranked from number 8 all the way to the number 1 powerhouse that beats powders, pills, and marketing gimmicks. Stick with me, because number 4 is the food supplement companies will never put on their labels. If they did, it would destroy their profit model overnight. Every single study I mention is linked below in the description. Check them yourself, because the science doesn't lie. Before we dive in, quick question. Have you ever spent money on protein powders? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be in there replying to every single one, and your story could save another senior from wasting money and health. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, what about whey protein? Isn't that supposed to be the gold standard? That's exactly what the supplement companies want you to believe. But here's the truth. For younger people with strong digestion, whey can give a quick hit of protein, but for seniors over 60, it's a different story. As we age, the stomach produces less acid and fewer enzymes, which makes breaking down whey much harder. That's why so many older adults feel bloated, gassy, or even constipated after drinking protein shakes. And here's a fact that should make you think twice. In the United States, nearly 40% of seniors already have some form of lactose intolerance. Since most whey protein is derived from milk, it can trigger digestive issues that cancel out any benefits. Instead of rebuilding muscle, you're left with gut discomfort, inflammation, and wasted money. That's why I tell people to stop relying on whey. If your body can't absorb and use the protein, it doesn't matter how much you drink. Your muscles won't grow. Which brings us to number 8 on our list. A natural food that delivers protein your body can actually absorb and use without the gut issues. Food 8's spirulina. Now let's start with number 8, spirulina. At first glance, it doesn't look like much, just a deep green powder that smells faintly of the ocean. But don't let its appearance fool you. Spirulina is one of the most concentrated natural protein sources on Earth. In fact, between 60 to 70% of its weight is pure protein. That's more than double what you'll find in beef. For seniors over 60, this matters more than you think. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at using low-quality protein. That's why so many older Americans keep losing muscle, even while drinking shakes and eating powders. Spirulina changes the game, because it's not just protein. It's loaded with branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, that directly feed your muscles, plus iron, magnesium, and antioxidants that reduce the inflammation, slowing down your recovery. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that spirulina supplementation not only improved muscle strength in older adults, but also lowered inflammation markers. That means fewer aches after activity and faster recovery, even from something as simple as climbing stairs. And here's a US fact. Spirulina has quietly become one of the fastest growing supplements in America's health market. Sales have jumped by more than 30% in the last decade as more seniors look for plant-based protein that doesn't upset digestion. Unlike whey or soy powders, spirulina's soft cell walls make it incredibly easy to digest, so your body absorbs the nutrients quickly without bloating or stomach pain. Take Robert, a 68-year-old retiree from Ohio. He was frustrated after years of protein shakes that left him bloated and weak. His daughter suggested adding a teaspoon of spirulina to his morning smoothie. Within weeks, Robert noticed less fatigue climbing stairs and better muscle tone in his legs. No more bloating, no more wasted money, just clean, usable strength. Here's the takeaway. Spirulina isn't glamorous, but it delivers more usable protein per spoonful than almost any powder on the market. Just a small daily serving can help slow sarcopenia, that silent muscle wasting that steals independence as we age. A quick question before we move on. Have you ever actually tried spirulina, whether in smoothies, capsules, or even mixed into juice? Drop yes or no in the comments. I'll be reading and replying, and I want to see how many of you have given this powerhouse a chance. Food 7, pumpkin seeds. Number 7 on our list is pumpkin seeds. They may look small, but don't underestimate them. For seniors fighting muscle loss, pumpkin seeds are a powerhouse hiding in plain sight. Just 1 ounce, about a small handful, packs nearly 7 grams of complete protein, along with 3 minerals that older adults desperately need: magnesium, zinc, and iron. Why does this matter? A 2018 study in Nutrients showed that older adults with higher magnesium intake preserved significantly more muscle mass compared to those who were deficient. Magnesium is essential for muscle contraction and recovery. Zinc supports healing and hormone balance, and iron keeps oxygen flowing to your muscles so they don't tire out too quickly. Without these minerals, your strength fades, your balance weakens, and falls become more like. Pumpkin seeds also fight one of the biggest enemies of aging muscles, inflammation. They are loaded with antioxidants and omega-6 fatty acids that reduce oxidative stress, the hidden process that speeds up muscle breakdown as we age. Unlike many protein powders that leave seniors bloated or uncomfortable, pumpkin seeds are gentle on the stomach, especially when roasted or ground into a powder. Here's a US fact. Even though pumpkin seeds are one of the healthiest snacks for seniors, most Americans throw them away after carving pumpkins. In fact, surveys show that nearly 1 billion pounds of pumpkin waste are tossed out every year in the US after Halloween. That's a mountain of wasted nutrition. Take George, a 70-year-old veteran from Texas. He thought his leg weakness was just normal aging. At his doctor's suggestion, he began adding 2 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds to his morning oatmeal. Within a few months, the nighttime cramps stopped, and his legs felt steadier when climbing stairs. A tiny habit gave him back a level of independence he thought was gone forever. The lesson is simple. Sometimes preventing muscle loss doesn't take expensive powders or complicated diets. It starts with something as simple as a handful of seeds. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you eat pumpkin seeds, or do you usually toss them out after Halloween? Type seeds in the comments if you're ready to make them part of your daily routine. Food 6. Amaranth. Rewritten script. Number 6 is amaranth. You've probably walked past it in the grocery store without even noticing. But this tiny, ancient grain has been fueling human strength for thousands of years. Unlike most grains, amaranth is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need but can't produce on their own. That's rare in the plant world. Here's why that matters. After age 60, your muscles face something called anabolic resistance. In simple terms, your body no longer responds to small amounts of protein the way it used to. Back when you were 30, 20 grams of protein could trigger muscle growth. At 70, you need more, and it has to be higher quality. That's where amaranth shines. A 2019 study in food chemistry confirmed that amaranth's amino acid balance is almost identical to eggs, making it one of the best plant-based options to fight sarcopenia. And here's the kicker: amaranth is rich in lysine, an amino acid most grains lack. Without lysine, your muscles struggle to repair themselves after even light activity. Add to that magnesium for energy production and calcium for bone strength, and you've got a single food that supports both muscle and skeletal health. Here's a US fact. Amaranth used to be considered a lost crop in America after Spanish colonizers banned it centuries ago, but today it's making a comeback, especially in health-conscious states like California and Oregon, where it's now grown locally as a gluten-free, protein-rich alternative to wheat. The beauty of amaranth is how easy it is to use. Seniors can enjoy it as a hot breakfast porridge, mix it into soups, or grind it into flour for healthier baked goods. And unlike protein powders that often cause bloating or kidney strain, amaranth digests gently while releasing steady energy throughout the day. The takeaway: amaranth proves you don't need expensive powders to fight muscle loss. Sometimes the secret is an ancient grain with modern science behind it. Food 5. Chicken breast plus quinoa, rewritten script. Number 5 on our list is a combination meal that blows plain egg whites out of the water. Chicken breast with quinoa. Why this combo? Because together they deliver more than 60 grams of high-quality protein in one sitting, and it's the kind of protein your body actually uses. A medium chicken breast, about 6 ounces, contains around 52 grams of lean, fast-digesting protein. Add 1 cup of cooked quinoa and you get another 8 grams, plus all 9 essential amino acids that most grains don't have. For seniors, this pairing is a powerhouse. Chicken breast gives your muscles immediate access to amino acids for repair, while quinoa supplies slow, steady energy along with magnesium, iron, and fiber to support recovery and digestion. It's a 1-2 punch: fast-acting fuel and long-lasting endurance. And here's a US fact. Americans eat more chicken than any other country in the world, over 100 pounds per person every year. But most people don't realize that pairing chicken with quinoa upgrades the meal from just protein to a complete muscle-preserving package. Quinoa was once considered a specialty food, but today you can find it in nearly every grocery store across the United States. Take Eleanor, a 72-year-old from Florida. She was told to add more protein to her diet, but got tired of powders that left her bloated. She switched to a simple dinner of grilled chicken and quinoa 3 nights a week. Within 2 months, her energy improved. Her legs felt stronger on walks, and her doctor noted her hemoglobin levels were healthier, a sign her muscles were actually being fed the nutrients they needed. The bottom line is this: egg whites alone might look healthy, but they don't tell the full story. A balanced meal like chicken and quinoa doesn't just protect your muscles, it rebuilds them. Now let's make this interactive. If you are already eating chicken weekly, type chicken in the comments. If quinoa is new to you, type quinoa. I want to see how many of you are ready to put this duo together for real muscle strength. Food 4. Moringa leaves, rewritten script. Number 4 is moringa leaves, often called the miracle tree. For centuries, moringa has been used in traditional medicine across Africa and Asia, but only recently have American researchers started paying attention to just how powerful it is for seniors fighting muscle loss. What makes moringa stand out is simple. The leaves contain all 9 essential amino acids. making them a complete protein source, something you almost never find in vegetables. On top of that, moringa delivers calcium, magnesium, and iron at levels that rival or even surpass spinach and kale. These minerals keep bones strong, prevent cramps, and support oxygen flow to your muscles. And unlike powders that upset digestion, moringa is gentle on the stomach, making it perfect for seniors who struggle with bloating or gut sensitivity. A study published in Frontiers in Nutrition confirmed what traditional healers have known all along. Moringa helps reduce oxidative stress and supports muscle recovery. That's why some researchers are calling it one of the most promising functional foods for healthy aging. Here's a US fact. Moringa is catching on fast in America's wellness industry. In fact, the US market for moringa is projected to hit $10 billion, 0 cents, by 2030, as more seniors look for natural, plant-based ways to protect strength and energy without depending on pills or powders. Take Samuel, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Illinois. He battled fatigue and painful leg cramps, and every protein shake he tried made him feel worse. His daughter introduced him to moringa tea and leaf powder sprinkled into soups. Within months, he noticed more energy, fewer cramps, and stronger legs climbing stairs. His doctor even remarked that his blood pressure and hemoglobin levels had improved. The takeaway: moringa isn't just a supplement. It's a survival food for seniors. It delivers protein, minerals, and antioxidants in one package. Exactly what an aging body needs to fight back against sarcopenia. Have you ever heard of moringa before this video? Type moringa in the comments if this is new to you. If you've already tried it, share your experience. You could inspire someone else to give it a shot. Food 3. Lentils. Number 3 is lentils. At first glance, they look humble, just tiny beans in shades of red, green, or brown. But don't underestimate them. Lentils are one of the most powerful muscle-saving foods on the planet, especially for seniors. 1 cup of cooked lentils gives you about 18 grams of protein. That's more than 2 large eggs, plus iron, folate, and magnesium. These minerals are critical for seniors. Iron helps red blood cells carry oxygen to your muscles. Folate keeps energy production steady, and magnesium supports recovery and prevents cramps. For someone over 60, that combination is a lifeline. Science backs this up. A 2017 study in the Journal of Nutrition tracked older adults who ate legumes like lentils at least 4 times a week. Those who did had 33% better muscle retention and significantly lower rates of frailty compared to those who rarely ate them. That's not theory. That's real, measurable protection against weakness and loss of independence. Here's a US fact. Even though lentils are cheap and available in every major grocery store, the average American eats less than 1 cup of lentils per year. Meanwhile, countries like India and Canada consume them weekly and have much lower rates of age frailty. Take Patricia, a 69-year-old from Arizona. She used to feel winded after just a short walk to her mailbox. Her nutritionist suggested swapping her usual pasta dinners for red lentil pasta twice a week. Within weeks, she noticed her energy lasting longer and her legs feeling steadier. Not only did she get protein, but her blood sugar stabilized thanks to the fiber in lentils, which protects muscles from the damaging spikes that speed up sarcopenia. The lesson is clear. Lentils aren't just cheap pantry food. They're one of the simplest, most nutrient-dense ways to fight muscle loss, build endurance, and keep energy steady. Quick question: have you ever cooked with lentils? Maybe in soup, stew, or pasta? Type lentils in the comments if you have. If not, type new so I know this is the first time you're seeing just how powerful they are. Food 2. Seaweed, nori, and wakame. Number 2 is seaweed. Yes, the same thin sheets you've seen wrapped around sushi or floating in miso soup. Most Americans never think of seaweed as muscle food, but it's one of the most underrated superfoods for seniors fighting sarcopenia. Here's why. Seaweed delivers bioavailable amino acids, rare minerals, and unique compounds that directly protect muscle tissue. A 2019 study in Marine Drugs found that wakame contains peptides that actually block muscle breakdown enzymes, helping aging muscle fibers resist wasting. Meanwhile, nori is rich in taurine, an amino acid that supports muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and recovery after activity. Seaweed also contains fucoxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that reduces chronic inflammation. And if you've ever felt sore for days after light exercise, you know inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of aging muscles. On top of that, seaweed naturally delivers omega-3 fatty acids, the same heart-healthy compounds seniors pay big money for in fish oil capsules. Here's a US fact. While Japan and Korea have been eating seaweed for centuries, most Americans only recently caught on. In fact, seaweed sales in the US have jumped more than 150% in the past decade, as health-conscious shoppers discover its benefits for weight, blood sugar, and muscle health. Take Harold, a 71-year-old from California. He'd never tried seaweed before, but his daughter suggested adding roasted nori sheets as a snack instead of chips. Within a few months, Harold noticed his grip strength improving and his energy lasting longer on walks. The best part? No bloating, no powders, just real food with real results. The bottom line, seaweed might not look like much, but it delivers rare nutrients most seniors are missing. A small serving a few times a week can transform muscle strength, metabolism, and recovery. Now let's make it interactive. Have you ever eaten seaweed outside of sushi? Type yes if you snack on it or add it to soups, and type no if this feels completely new to you. I want to see how adventurous our community really is. Food 1. Lean beef and Greek yogurt, muscle bowl. And now, number 1. The ultimate muscle-preserving meal for seniors, a simple combination of lean beef and Greek yogurt, what I like to call the muscle bowl. Why this combo? Because together they deliver over 110 grams of protein in a single serving, more than any powder on the shelf. 8 ounces of lean beef gives you about 90 grams of protein, along with heme iron, vitamin B12, creatine, and zinc, all critical for energy, red blood cell health, and muscle repair. Add in 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, and you get another 20 grams of protein, plus calcium and probiotics for gut health. This pairing works because it hits every angle. Fast-digesting whey protein from the yogurt, slow-release casein to keep amino acids flowing for hours, and dense muscle-building fuel from beef. For seniors over 60, it's like flipping the muscle repair switch back on. Here's a US fact. Americans already eat about 55 pounds of beef per person every year, but most don't pair it with Greek yogurt. Yogurt consumption has also skyrocketed from less than 5 pounds per person in 1975 to more than 13 pounds today. Put them together and you got one of the most powerful protein meals an older adult can eat. Take Margaret, a 74-year-old from Michigan. She struggled with fatigue and weakness, despite spending hundreds of dollars on protein powders. Her grandson suggested swapping the shakes for a weekly muscle bowl, lean beef served with Greek yogurt on the side, sometimes with berries or herbs mixed in. Within weeks, Margaret's morning stiffness eased, her walking pace improved, and she said it was the first time in years she felt steady on her feet. The bottom line is this: powders can't compete with real food. A muscle bowl gives you complete, highly absorbable protein, plus the vitamins, minerals, and gut support that no artificial shake can match. Now let's hear from you. Would you actually try a lean beef and Greek yogurt combo meal? Type muscle bowl in the comments if you're curious to give it a shot. I'll be looking for your answers and sharing more ways to prepare it in the replies. That closes out the countdown with a finale that's shocking over 100 g protein, practical, real food seniors know, and sticky, viewers will remember, muscle bowl. So now you know the truth. You don't need tubs of expensive protein powders filled with additives, sweeteners and fillers to protect your muscles after 60. You need real foods. Spirulina with its concentrated plant protein. Pumpkin seeds, quietly delivering magnesium and zinc. Amaranth, an ancient grain that builds strength. The chicken and quinoa combo, hitting over 60 grams in a single meal. Moringa leaves, the miracle tree, packed with amino acids and minerals. Lentils, humble but proven to lower frailty by a third. Seaweed, the ocean vegetable with muscle-protecting compounds. And at number 1, the lean beef plus Greek yogurt muscle bowl, blasting past 100 grams of protein with nutrients powders can't touch. Here's what it all means. These aren't just foods. For seniors, they're medicine. They're the difference between walking strong into your 70s and 80s, or struggling with weakness, falls, and lost independence. And here's a US fact that brings it home. Surveys show nearly 50% of older Americans don't get enough daily protein. That shortfall is one of the biggest reasons sarcopenia is stealing strength and independence across the country. But it doesn't have to be your story. Now it's your turn. Which of these 8 foods do you already eat, and which one surprised you the most today? Drop your answer in the comments. Your story might be the spark that helps another senior take action. If this video opened your eyes, don't stop here. Hit the like button so more people over 60 can see it. Share it with a friend or family member who's struggling with weakness. And subscribe so you never miss the next urgent video packed with science-backed health advice the supplement companies don't want you to hear. Remember, your muscles are your freedom. Feed them wisely, and they'll carry you strong for decades to come.